into the first game of the week, in which I've heard some differing opinions on the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. It is 7 now on the road in favor of the Eagles. 43.5 is the total. Adam, the different opinion that I hear is, hey, look, we know Jalen Hurts is playing hurt. They're telling us as much that he is playing hurt. He's not ever listed on the injury report, basically when the final injury report comes out each and every week. But now we are left to try and figure out just how hurt he may be. Is it a hurt that actually could affect his performance? We have seen the tush push work, continually throughout the course of the season. So it doesn't seem to be some sort of anything that would prevent them from running that, which makes this offense incredibly efficient. It's just an interesting angle that I keep hearing this week of, hey, look, we're betting on a team that we know that has an injured quarterback.
I guess the takeaway is that Jalen hurts. But seriously, guys, mm-hmm. That's the sort of bad joke that you make when you don't really have a read on this game. Injured quarterback as part of it, but also, listen, last time we looked at these two teams getting together, it was Washington getting more than a touchdown in Philadelphia. Now we turn around and have a similar spread right after they went to overtime between those two teams just a few weeks ago. I don't have a great read on where Philadelphia is. I don't know that I learned a ton last week other than the fact that they have a lot of maulers up front on both sides of the ball, and I don't know that that is as big of a mismatch this week as it was last. We already know how bad the Washington offensive line is. It's not like we know that there's a good Sam Howell and a bad Sam Howell, the same way there's a good Tua and a bad Tua under pressure. So no play for me on this game.
Steven, this is a team that you and I have been higher on than everybody else over on the staff all season long. And I look at it from the standpoint of, I'm very high on the Eagles. I think the Eagles win this game. That being said, it's not in my account. I can't really tell you why it's not in my account. I have not liked anything about Washington of late. The defense, the one thing we thought we could count on, has not been there this year. It's actually been atrocious. And then you just have Sam Howell, who continues to kind of like wet the bed in some of the most obvious situations. I sent you and Adam a little bit of a graph that earlier in the week that showed, and you've talked about this several times in the pod, and we will continue to bring it up, that yes, sacks can sometimes be the product of a bad offensive line. Sacks can also be the product of a quarterback that doesn't know the situation, can't feel pressure, doesn't know when to get rid of the ball, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we have seen that Sam Howell kind of fits the bill there for that type of player. So, I think the Eagles win. If somebody said they wanted to tease this for the Eagles down from 7-1, I wouldn't talk them off of it, but it's not in my account. I don't know why. I just kind of want to sit back and let this ride.
I think we were right to be higher on Washington coming into the season than the market was. The problem is week to week betting this team. I don't know which week to bet them and which week they're going to lay an egg. It's just they've been very erratic, very volatile. So I do agree that this price seems rich if you want to back the Eagles, just based on Adam's logic. They played a couple of weeks ago. We don't have major injuries. And if you flip home field, this really should be less than 7 based on the closing number last time. So I can tell you that our senior writer, Mo Nawara, has already backed Washington at +7. But as we record right now, around 4 o'clock Eastern time on Friday, we're starting to get a little heavier juice on the Eagles 7. So I have no reason to bet Washington right now. Let's just see if we get even more Eagles steam here and somehow get up to 7.5. So if it gets there, I'm definitely betting Washington at that point. But right now, why not wait and see if even more Eagles money comes in?
Yeah, I guess the only other angle could be in this, that total of 43.5. If you actually think that the Commanders can have any sort of success whatsoever against this Eagles defense, then you might be shading towards the over in this thing, because I can't imagine a scenario in which Philadelphia isn't able to just shred this defense. I mean, the Commanders have been horrible. I mean, it's been terrible. And so I don't, unless Jalen Hurts really is hurt pretty badly, I can't imagine that. So if you have any faith whatsoever in Washington, I think you'd be leaning towards the over.